Thank you everyone for being here. We've got a great session in store for you. I'm super excited because not only is it an interesting offer that we're about to talk about, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, as we'll explain. And as we rolled this out to folks at our recent Oracle Cloud World and NetSuite Suite World in the last couple of weeks, got tremendous enthusiasm, reception for it, lots of interest. It was very fulfilling, rewarding because, behind the scenes, we work really hard on something. And when you kind of take the covers off, so to speak, and people get a chance to really take a look. And there's lots of enthusiasm and excitement. That's very rewarding. So happy to share this with you. I'm going to say a few things, a few slides, ask a couple poll questions. The meat of this session is going to really be Akshatha taking you through a live demo. And we encourage you to ask questions. Every time we give one of these sessions, we get lots of questions, a lot of interactive discussion, which is great. That's exactly what we want. The session is for you. Okay, the first poll question is which AI power tools have you used? And it's okay if you haven't used any. This is a multi-choice poll question. This isn't a comprehensive list, but sort of these are the popular ones. Amazon Q Developer. Some people use ChatGPT for coding assistance, even though it's not optimized for that. Gemini Code Assist, GitHub Copilot, of course, kind of the probably the most popular of them all out there. OpenAI Codex, Tab 9, Visual Studio IntelliCode. Again, there are many others, and this is a hot topic, a hot market. Many startups are being funded by VCs for this capability. So we want to know which ones are you using. And let's go ahead and end the poll and show the answers. And it's not surprising, to me anyway, that ChatGPT has a huge following here amongst this audience anyway. GitHub Copilot looks to be number 2. And then Gemini Code Assist and Visual Studio IntelliCode to round things out. So that's good. Thank you for answering that poll question. Now let me launch into some of the main content here. So Oracle Code Assist is an AI code companion. It's designed to help you developers build applications faster with AI. The whole idea here is to alleviate or relieve you from some of the mundane, maybe more boilerplate type aspects of coding and let you focus on higher value add activities and do less about in the weeds and more of the thinking about architecture and the different ways to implement something. It's optimized for the languages that are most important for Oracle customers, and I say Oracle at large. That includes Java, SuiteScript for NetSuite, PL SQL for all our database fans, and application development on OCI or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So that's the public cloud offering from Oracle. So we're focusing in on the primary languages that and app dev environment that matters most to Oracle customers. But it's also a polyglot code companion in the sense that it can also work for Python and Ruby and Rust and Go and C and many others, but it's particularly optimized for the languages most important for Oracle customers. The big recent news is that Oracle Code Assist is now in beta. So we launched this at Oracle Cloud World in the last couple of weeks, and we are actively recruiting beta users. And so if you didn't catch the QR code at the very beginning, we're going to show it later on in this presentation. A QR code to take you to a blog site which describes everything that we're going to be going through here, and then most importantly, the link to the registration page for the Oracle Code Assist beta program. Initially, the beta is optimized for Java, but we also have announced, and this is part of the recent news as well, is that we're optimizing for SuiteScript. So that'll be a fast follow for the beta program. So we want both Java users and SuiteScript users. PL SQL will be, coming right behind that, and then other capabilities based on user feedback. And that's part of the beta program objectives is we want your user feedback. Okay, if I go to the next slide here, what is it and what does it do? Well, we've focused, just like we're focusing on the languages most important to Oracle customers, we're focusing on initially the two developer environments that are most popular amongst Oracle customers. So IntelliJ IDEA and Visual Studio Code. So we are not necessarily going to limit ourselves to these two, but these are the first two. This the the plugin, so it's a plugin into these two environments. The plugin is one part of the architecture, but it also communicates with a backend service, which is running a large language model, which is running on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, so GPUs on OCI. We, at this point, are not revealing what the LLM or LLMs, plural, is or are, because part of what we're doing here is we're experimenting. The team is using a variety of LLMs because not every LLM is equally adept at the different languages. So they're trying different things, experimenting, see which is most proficient in the various capabilities. We may never reveal what the LLMs are, but suffice it to say they will be very much optimized for the language that we talk about. And the whole idea here is being that this is a generative AI capability, that it has the context, it has the attention, as it were, in the AI context of knowing the environment in which you're working, the code, your code base that you're working on, and uses that as its context for generating the suggestions that the tool puts out. All right, next question, next poll question. What is your primary IDE, your developer environment? Is it Eclipse? Is it IntelliJ IDEA? Is it PyCharm, Visual Studio Code, WebStorm? I apologize. I know that there are many, many other environments out there, but we just wanted to keep it to a small handful. Again, we're focusing first on IntelliJ and VS Code, and we got a variety of feedback at the recent customer events about other IDEs. So we just want to know what's important to you. Okay, you can go ahead and close it out, Tara, and share the results. No surprise to me, based at least on the sample set we had in Las Vegas at the two events. VS Code, very popular. A little bit surprising to me, Eclipse outvotes IntelliJ, PyCharm, and WebStorm. So that's great feedback, and that's what we want. So, like any sort of product development initiative, the team has assumptions about, and we do our research. It's a sample set of what we think is going to be most popular, but ultimately comes down to what you are using and want to use. Okay, we'll keep rolling here. Bear with me, just one or two more slides and then hand things over to Akshatha. So the whole idea, again, is the plugin is part of your IDE, your local environment, and based on what you are doing, what you want Code Assist to do, it interacts with the generative AI model, the large language model, running on OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And really, it's Code Assist is optimized to do the things you see there on the right: code creation or code completion, generating test cases, unit tests, annotating code, like adding comments and such, summarizing code, really cool features. You can select a bunch of code and basically say, hey, explain this, what's going on here? And as Akchatha will show you, it goes and explains what's going on, not just sort of like a two-sentence summary, but line by line. So it's perfect for learning, not only if you're a junior developer, but hey, you get code from a colleague or from a client, say you're an integrator or partner, and you want to quickly determine what's going on. Great time saver as well as for learning. And then chat capability. So you have the ability to interact with the model, ask questions, and again, it retains that context. So very useful for facilitating your work. You can indeed, or you will be able to align the Code Assist output with your own code base. Currently in the beta program, basically everyone, our external users are using the same model, but as we get closer to GA, the intent is to be able to basically tailor it, summarize things to your own code base. So that'd be an exciting capability and very relevant for those very huge organizations, large enterprises that have massive quantity of developers and applications and having consistency in terms of style. The way you customize things is important for large enterprises. And then a key thing I want to make very explicit is that none of the data used by Code Assist users is stored or kept or used for training. So in other words, the code that you use, the prompt questions, the chat questions you ask, that's only used for generating the response for that prompt, that question, and discarded. It's not stored. It's not used for training of the model. We very much respect users' security and privacy, and we're not going to retain that code. So we don't share it with any other entity. Oracle itself does not use that. So that's an important thing to know about this, and we might reiterate that a couple times in the next 45 minutes or so. Okay, last slide, probably the busiest slide you'll see in the session. Code Assist is part of a larger suite of offerings, I'll call it, as part of our overall AI stack. If you think of SaaS applications at the top layer, and then services next below that, and then your data, and then cloud infrastructure below that, whether it's a public cloud infrastructure, or sovereign cloud, or government clouds, private clouds. This is the AI stack. And so Code Assist is part of that suite of AI services. So everything from generative AI service and Gen AI agents, which by the way just went GA in the last couple of weeks. So using Cohere models, Meta Llama models, and then on the other end of the spectrum are more narrow focus ML capabilities. So vision, speech, language, document understanding, and so on. So we've got a wide range within the services, but then also at each layer of the stack. And the SaaS apps would be not only NetSuite, but Fusion applications, HCM, ERP, SCM, and so on, as well as third-party applications. So we take a very broad view of what customers need, and it's not just point solutions for specific areas. We want to cover the whole range and meet you where you are in terms of your capability. Some customers are very far down the path of employing AI, and others are just at the very beginning. And so we can cater to all those needs. Okay, last poll question before Akshatha takes things over. What coding language would you like to use with Oracle Code Assist? Is it the ones that we are focusing on, Java, SuiteScript, PL SQL, or are there other ones? So this is your chance to vote and tell us, because ideally we'd all love to have a single tool that does everything to a maximum capability available on the market. That's typically not the case. Usually tools have things that they're optimized for, and you need a variety of tools. So we want to make sure that in addition to ticking off the languages that are most important to Oracle customers, what would come next, because we know that it's a large ecosystem out there, and not everything is those three languages. Okay, Tara, you can go ahead and close the poll and share. So it looks like PL SQL is the big winner. That's great. And then Python, not too surprising. Java closely behind that. And then kind of rounding things out, SuiteScript, TypeScript, Node.js, and then on down the line. So great. Thank you for participating in that. And now it is time. Akshatha, I'm going to turn things over to you. Please show us a live demo and school us on a few things.
Thank you, Brian. So today I have a live demo for all of you, followed by two video recordings. So as Brian mentioned, Oracle Code Assist is available in the form of plugins for IntelliJ and VS Code. And for the purpose of this demo today, I will be walking you through our IntelliJ plugin for IntelliJ. But all the functionalities you see here are also available for VS Code. And this is in beta, so these are the two IDEs we support today. But we have plans to soon add support for many more IDEs soon after. So Code Assist. Oracle Code Assist is available on the right side of your IDE as we see it here. And clicking on this icon brings out two tabs. We have Solutions and Chat. We'll come back to these two tabs very quickly, but the five key um, the five key scenarios we support in beta today are generating unit tests, generating documentation, explaining existing code. It could be an entire class or method, generating code, and also chatting with Code Assist and asking it general questions or being able to paste code snippets and chatting with the LLM on the code snippets. So I have a file here. I have a Java file here. It's simple. What it does is it takes a couple of strings and combines them into a single string. Now, as developers, you all know that it is best practice to comment code, to add documentation on any code you write to improving code readability. And for Java developers, Java docs also help with API documentation. So as you're writing code, you can use Code Assist to quickly generate Java docs by simply clicking on Generate Document button. So as you can see, we have Generate Document inlay options available on top of the class, and we also have it available handy on top of every method. And as you can see, Code Assist generated Java docs for us. And you can easily copy this over to your class file, either by clicking on this handy Accept Solution button, or you can also achieve that with this Copy to Clipboard button here. The next functionality as a developer you would perform after writing code is to generate unit tests. So let's try to generate unit tests for this method that we have. And as you can see, Code Assist generated a unit test for our test file here. And you can copy this over. If you don't have a unit test file already, Code Assist will create the test file for you, or if you have one, it will copy it over to your existing file. The next use case I want to talk about is explain method. So most often as developers, you find yourself looking at code that you haven't necessarily written, right? You could be debugging code, debugging an error that takes you to a file that you're looking at for the first time. Or you could be a new developer that is coming up to speed on a new project. Or if you're a seasoned developer, a senior developer, and you're reviewing somebody else's code, you're often looking at new code snippets, new code files every single day. You can use the explain method or explain class feature to understand code that may be poorly documented. And as you can see, Code Assist quickly gave us an explanation for what this file does, right? It gave you a summary of what the file does, and it also goes through the details of the class. It talks about every method and what the intention of this method is. And the next feature is chat. You can add existing code snippets from your class file into the chat by simply clicking on Add Class to Chat or Add Method to Chat. If you want to add this method to chat, let's click on this. And what we can see is, let me make sure that I refresh and then here it is, right? It copied over our class file right? Our entire test, entire class file to chat. Now, what I can do with this is a many number of things. I can ask it to debug if I'm a developer and I am troubleshooting an issue. What I can simply do is add this class file to the chat feature and ask it to debug. So currently there is no bug here, but let's introduce a bug. Let's say this is the bug. And let's ask Code Assist to debug this for us. And as you can see, it not only identified the problem, and it also gave us the corrected version, the debugged Java code, all within a matter of few seconds, right? One thing I want to call out is we have thousands of developers within Oracle using Code Assist. To give you a perspective, we have close to 50,000 developers inside of Oracle, and we have many of them using Code Assist actively. And our chat feature is one of the most used features, and debugging code, optimizing existing code, and simply asking Code Assist when for how to perform certain things. When you're a developer, you often look up APIs. Right? How do you perform something using, say, OCI SDKs? So rather than leave the context of your IDE, go into, say, Google search or any other search engine to look up how to perform something, you can now, within the context of your IDE, switch to Code Assist chat feature and simply ask, how can I perform this? And you will see this in the video recording that I'm going to run in the next few minutes. But that's some of the ways our own developers are using the chat feature. Um, So a couple of other things that I want to call out are we have so all the feedback that you provide for us from within the plugin, whether that is like or dislike, is automatically fed into our pipeline, right? None of the and as Brian mentioned, none of the prompts or the responses that we produce for you are ever stored and used for our fine-tuning purposes, or they're not stored, right? And we also don't store any of your user data. So the feedback that you do provide in the form of likes and dislikes are anonymized and scrubbed and saved without the context of the request and the responses that you provided to that the request you made and the responses we provided. So none of that is ever stored. So with that, there are a couple of other things. PL SQL, what you see here in the demo today is Java centric because our beta is the current version of Code Assist is optimized for Java. So all these the inlay features you see here and the right click features that you see here, these are a couple of ways you can invoke Code Assist, right? We have right-click options, and we have these inlay features. So these features that you see are optimized for Java today, but the chat feature is a polyglot. You can use this for answering your questions or chatting with our models for any programming language or in any of your in any natural language. That's the reason why we're focusing on Java. We are also adding support for SuiteScript and making that available in our beta program very soon. You can see that in the recording that I have of how internally we are using Code Assist for extending NetSuite applications with SuiteScript. That's really a couple of things I wanted to call out. PL SQL is a popular feature ask, right? Support for PL SQL language, and we have that on our roadmap. In fact, that's the next. It's among the family of languages we will add support for next. I think with that, I have answered most of the questions I saw on chat up until recently. I will switch to some of the video recordings I have for you today. So what you will see for the next minute and a half is a scenario where, say, you have your leadership ask for you to create daily reports, right? Daily uptime reports of an application that you're running on OCI. Um, so most often you have these kind of requests come last minute that, hey, we need this. Our uptime is seems to be low, or we have a new initiative to improve our uptime. So we want to monitor this closely on a daily basis. We want this report available ASAP. And if you are new to OCI SDKs, or we also update our SDK quite often, right? So looking up new SDKs and writing new method or new application that performs this often takes a couple of hours, right? 5 to 10 hours maybe. Now let's see with Code Assist, how can you perform this? How can you have Code Assist help you write this code in a matter of a few minutes? All right, so I have, as a developer, defined the bucket name, file name. I have report ready, and I want to upload this report to an object store bucket in OCI. And I asked Code Assist to do that, and it generated that code for me. And as you can see, this looks good. And let me go ahead and run it. But I got this error, right? So here's an application of how you can use the chat feature to debug issues that you see in your day-to-day coding. And what Code Assist did for us here are it told us that, hey, here are some of the ways to debug. And bucket not being present is most often the problem, most often the error. So we went and created the bucket, and let's run the code. And there you go. We received 200 response. Now let's go look at the report. Is it there in the place we would like it to be? And there you go. It's created the report. It placed it in the right place for us, all within a matter of few minutes. Now, if you are I know that we also have a couple of folks that are NetSuite customers, and you use SuiteScript to extend your NetSuite applications to customize your workflows. And now let's see how you can use Code Assist to extend to customize your NetSuite application. There you go. Let's ask Code Assist to create a new user event, right? A new user event script that generates a case summary. Now, Code Assist is fine-tuned with SuiteScript code. So it understands SuiteScript like no other coding assistant does. So it quickly generated the code that we are asking for. And it also calls out that here are some of the changes I made to the original code. You can connect to your NetSuite account just as you do with the Suite Cloud apps, and then use Code Assist to generate code. So as you can see, for your existing code, you can ask Code Assist to explain existing code. One of the things that we have seen and we have heard from our customers is that we have a lot of legacy code, and our developers are afraid to touch legacy code. So this is a perfect place for to use Code Assist. And as you saw, Code Assist was able to generate new code. All you had to do was ask it to write application, right? Explain what you need your SuiteScript extension to do, and Code Assist was able to generate code for your scenario in a matter of a few seconds, and you were able to deploy that and run it all within matter of a few minutes. With that, I have come to the end of my demo and the present and the recordings I had. So going to now hand this off to Brian.
Yeah, there's a poll. There's a bunch of questions too. I've done my best to answer some, but here's the poll and last poll. What are your top three use cases for Code Assist? So you've seen the capabilities in terms of the code generation, unit tests, summarization, annotation, chat, and so on. What would you imagine that you and your colleagues would use it for? We know there's a lot of capabilities, and different organizations have different needs. And of course, individuals within organizations have different needs. So this is a great chance. Okay, we can go ahead and close the poll. It looks like the winner by little is code generation. Great. The debugging code, code optimization, and then looks like code explanation, unit test generation, and on down the line. So great. Thank you. That's wonderful. And that helps the team. Um, Obviously AI is a very rapidly moving space, and that's why we, are constantly asking these questions because new capabilities are coming out all the time, and we want to stay ahead of the curve. Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.